Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we are going to take a closer look and talk a little bit about the 5 pedals that I've already made using these little LM386 chips that you can get off Amazon. You usually buy them in a bag of 10 and you can make pedals out of them really easy. They basically come to you ready to be a pedal. This is not something that I've come up with or that is my idea. I saw Mark Teras make a video a year or so ago now, and I was inspired by it, but he didn't show how to turn it into an actual pedal. And that's where this pedal was made, and the video showing you how to turn it into an actual pedal was created. And I got a lot of attention for that, and a lot of subscribers, and thank you all so much for that. But the thing is, you can do a lot more interesting and fun things with these, and there's probably even more things you can do, so I'm gonna have to buy more. A 10-pack was not enough. I am gonna most likely have to get more. It's a sort of fuzz sound that I am really enjoying. It has sort of become my favorite kind of fuzz. And so yes, we're gonna jump in now into the 5 pedals that I've already made and take a closer look. And I'll talk a little bit about them, and hopefully my goal with this video is to inspire you. So if you are new here and you haven't seen all of the pedal videos, maybe you just saw the big one, this one, where I got a lot of views and a lot of attention, maybe you'll watch the other ones, because even though it's the most viewed one, it's not actually the one I think is the best pedal or the one that is my favorite. I think it's a good pedal, but you can have a lot of fun and you can be super creative and you can make a lot of interesting things using basically nothing more than these tiny little chips that you can, yeah, you get them off Amazon. There is not going to be a sound demo or anything like this because this video is more an overview. So I'm going to link the videos in the description, so if you think any of these that I'm talking about sounds interesting, you will most likely find a link, and there you will find how to build it, and also in that video you will find a sound clip of it. And so if there is anything you're interested in, check the links in the description below, and then you can watch those videos. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You can also contact me on Instagram if you're trying to build something that I'm showing you in this video and you are confused and you've built it but it doesn't work and you want to send me pictures. Then I can look it over and hopefully we can solve whatever issues you're having together so that you have a nice pedal. Okay, so here is the first pedal I made, the Mark Teras pedal. And there isn't that much to say about the outside. I put red rings on, trying to make it look a little bit fancy. And this is just a sticker. I just took a picture from his YouTube channel and I just printed it out on paper that has a sticky back side, and I just put it on. And the reason was, it was basically just a way to make a joke about the fact that I sort of got the idea from him. I don't know if you guys know about this, but like when it comes to like let's play YouTubers and things like that, a lot of time, maybe not any longer, but in the beginning there was a lot of talking about stealing ideas and things like that, that if someone did something and someone else also did it, it meant that you stole the idea or something like that. And I just felt like, you know, I should be really on point about how much I've stolen from him making this, to make it even like a joke that I stole the entire thing from him. So I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you, but anyway, that's why the video is so much a joke about him and why I'm trying to be so extra silly in the video and putting in like hearts around him and never mind. And the enclosure is an iRig or whatever it's called, a guitar pedal that I found in a thrift store, and I just changed it around a little bit so it would fit and work. I saw that pedal and I had to pay like $1 for it, and I just thought, hey, I'm never going to use the pedal, but all the parts in it are, you know, worth it because I'm going to be able to use it for something else, and it's at least cheaper than buying all the things that I get. So even Even if it works, it doesn't matter. But anyway, if we flip it over, we have the inside of the pedal, and the back plate has this battery thing. And so I decided that I was going to wire up a battery and show you how to do that, which I did in that video. And I haven't done it in any of the other ones. And it's basically just because I don't feel like using batteries. It's not my thing. So yeah, it's a super simple thing basically. And all I did, which it's a little bit hard to show you because the wires are pulled in the way they are. But I set one to taste and I have one going into the other and come back the other way. And all the connection wires that put the two boards together are under this mess of hot glue and a piece of paper, and that's just to keep everything together, because one issue you will run into when you're doing like DIY pedals and things like that is things shorting out and stuff like that, and everything always looks like a mess. And since we had this back plate, I might as well have this battery clipping things, which I've never even used. So yeah, that's this pedal. It's a lot of fun, and I'm considering maybe making that one into a controller as well, just because of my latest pedal, which we will talk about later, that has one control for each board. And I'm thinking that if this has a control for each board, then maybe I could talk more about how many different sounds there is. Because now this one basically has one sound, and then this to control the amount of that sound. But if you have two, you can really work with it, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in my next pedal. But yeah, I'm thinking about that because it could be, even if 90% of the sounds are nothing that I want to do anything with, having both controls could actually be a benefit. So yeah, I could have a bunch of different pedals in this by just moving this one. There isn't that much interesting about the wiring. Other than that, you have the jacks and you have the switch, you have the clip and the DC. And yeah, if you check in the description, the first link will be to this, which is the first pedal. That video will hopefully show you everything you need to know in order to build this one, if you are interested in making it. And so check that, and yeah. If you've already seen that video and you're watching this just because you think it's fun to get a recap, let me know what you think of this pedal in the comments below. Okay, so my next pedal after the first one, the second one I made, was this one. And a lot of you might have seen this in my weird, jokey little killer fuzz pedal videos. And the reason why I'm using it for that is just because it looks kind of evil. It looks like some weird monster killer clown thing. And that was not the intention when I made it. The thing is, this was first going to be a completely different pedal. I was going to make a boost pedal experiment, and I wanted to make a video series showing you about boost pedals and what they are. So I bought this little kit that I was going to make a boost pedal out of, and then that didn't turn out well. Some of you might remember the community post I made where I talked about failed experiments, and I showed you basically this pedal, but it looked a little bit different. And the volume controls from the kit I bought had these knobs, and I kept them for this pedal, and they just turned into looking like eyes. This pedal, if we look on the inside, it looks a lot like the other kit, but it actually has a kit in between. And this is so fiddly, I can't really show you without taking out the pots. But there are basically 3 circuit boards glued together. And if you want better picture, you'll have to go and watch the video where I do this. But it's a tremolo, and it's actually really easy. It's basically the same pedal as the first one, where you have one of these little LMs, and your guitar gets into it, and then it goes into the next LM and comes back out to your amp. But in between the 2 LMs, there is a tremolo kit from MusicDin. I think it's called the Key. It's one of those times when I just wanted to experiment and see what happens if you have one control. That's why it says in and out up here. You might think it's because of these, but it's actually, this is the in, as in this is where the guitar goes in. Then it goes to this, and then it comes out here. And it's just to show you that, like, maybe you want more fuzz going in to the circuit than what is going out. Or maybe you want more fuzz going out of the circuit than what's going into it. That, I hope that makes sense, but basically this is the first stage of fuzz that goes in to the tremolo, and this is the amount of fuzz coming out of the board. So it's like this is the first circuit and this is the second circuit, because it's like a pedal board inside of here. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, talk to me in the comments below and I'll try to clear it up a little bit more. It has a really nice crazy color. I don't know how well it comes out on the video, but this is basically glowing. On my shelf with the pedals, this one sticks out like a sore thumb because it's glowing. It's so orange that it's crazy. And if anyone wants to know about the sticker here, it's just masking tape with a mouth drawn on, and the idea was that you can peel this off, move it around, and you can decide whether or not you want, like, you know, an angry face or if you want a happy face by just flipping it over. But I like it so much this way that I don't think I'll ever do that. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but maybe I'll make this mouth fit better and add it in and just make it permanent. Maybe I'll do some etching in or something like that so that it's permanently there. I don't know. I also like the eyes because you can make it look in different directions. Like right now it's looking over there, right now it's looking over there, and right now he's just crazy, and now he's being silly. And it's called Pikos because one of you guys just came up with that name. And yeah, for anyone who wants to know why it's called that. And so yeah, there it is. I hope you like it. If you have any questions or if you want to hear what it sounds like, check the links in the descriptions, and also talk to me in the comments below. But yeah, there isn't that much to say about it. It's when it comes to pedals, I would say that this is maybe my favorite because it allows me to create some really weird and interesting sounds that I feel like I haven't heard before. So if you're interested in making something crazy and weird that maybe makes sounds you haven't heard before, then I would say check this one out, and if you like what you're hearing, maybe make one and see what happens. You could also have something else in the middle. You don't necessarily need to have a tremolo in the middle. You could, for example, put in a delay kit or a flanger maybe. I don't know. But it is an interesting idea to have a fuzz pedal on each side of another effect and allowing yourself the possibility of creating weird and crazy sounds with these knobs. So yeah, try that and let me know what you think. Talk to me in the comments below if you want to. So here's my third pedal, and some of you might know it, especially if you're one of the people who have spoken to me on Instagram and wanted help making your own. And this one is maybe, I would say, the most useful one. If you want something that is sort of a standard fuzz pedal bordering on distortion, then I would say maybe this is the first thing you should make. Obviously it depends on if you are beginner or if you're new to this, but if you want to do something cool, I think this might be the most useful and best of the pedals, at least in a sort of basic way. Obviously if you're into weird stuff and want something crazy, but if you want just a simple fuzz and you want something useful, it's maybe not the right way to say it, but the thing is you can use the distortion, you can max out the distortion if you want to, and then you can just bring it into a reasonable level by just moving these pots around a little bit and just softening that up, and you can have something more interesting that way. But you could also just balls to the walls everything and go crazy, which if, for example, we look at this pedal, the way you have it set up with this one and the other pot will basically decide whether or not you get a sound that you can use. But this could basically be a pedal that lives on your board for years, maybe even, until you get bored of it. So yeah, it's a very simple pedal. I just asked my dad to draw a figure on it because I didn't know what to put on it, and yeah, he thought it was funny to get to draw something. And it's a super simple pedal. It has this thing we can pull up to the side, and yeah, you just have the board here and your guitar goes into it, and then your guitar leaves it and goes to a volume and a tone, and it's just a volume and a tone taken from an old crappy guitar that I was taking apart. Maybe you've seen the video where I made a carved ghost guitar, and that guitar's volume and tone ended up in here. And yeah, or maybe you're even the person who bought that ghost guitar, which if you are, then hello, thank you for buying it. So if you want to know what this is, I think it's a 250k volume and tone, but yeah, I didn't pay that much attention to what I put in, which maybe I should, but that wasn't really the point of the video. I was just making a pedal and trying to have fun and be creative and see what happens, and you know, building it because it's fun to build stuff. And if it didn't work, I would just have switched them out. This is a fun pedal. There isn't really that much to say about it. I like the way it sounds. I like the things I can do with it, and I think it's probably the most useful one because yeah, you can dial in a really nice tone, and you can decide how much distortion you want, and then you can use the volume to correct the distortion, and then the tone will basically let you soften up tone. And since it's a guitar tone, you basically put it at 0 and there is no tone, and then you can just dial it in as much as you want to just clean that up a little bit and make it not as gnarly. Because again, if we look at this one, this is a pedal that it has extreme sound, and yeah, if you're not into that or don't want to use that for a particular thing, then you'll have to get another pedal. But with this one, you can get a lot of different sounds. Here it is. If you have any questions, you can either check the link in the description below, or you can talk to me. Yeah, but I probably recommend this be the first pedal you make, unless you're watching this in the future and I've already come up with something else. But I'm recording this video in the past, so just think about that. Okay, so here is my 4th pedal, and this one came to be in a sort of weird way because I had made a pedal out of an old telephone, and I did that as a funny thing, and it broke, so I decided that I had to put it into a box. And the inspiration was the Simon the Magpie video where he showed off some pedal he had made using a phone. And so, yeah, what happened was that I basically had this going into this right here, and you'll see once I flip it over that there is a little LM chip right here, and then into this delay pedal right here, which is a faux. No one commented on my weird joke about that, but it's a faux from Music Ding. And yeah, if we flip it around, you'll see on the inside here that it's pretty basic. We have the switch from the kit right here and the kit right here, and this is just the rotary function, so that when you turn it, it stutters the guitar. It's not a very usable thing, but I didn't make it to make it usable. I made it to basically have fun and make a weird pedal that was more of a joke maybe than anything else, but that's another part of inspiration, to make things that maybe, I don't know, are not always super serious. And here we have the little LM, and I didn't do anything weird about it. It's just there basically. So the guitar comes in here and is affected by this. If you want it to be affected, basically you have to turn it, then it goes to the switch and goes through here and goes through there, and then comes to this jack up here and goes out. And this is what I mean about, for example, if you were to build this pedal and putting something else in between, and that's where, like, for example, a reverb would be really cool, because I think that this sounds really, really cool. I know I already said the other one was my favorite, but when it comes to usability sound-wise, like the coolest sounds you get out, this might be the coolest. The other one is more like weird, cool. Like, you can get some sounds that are really strange, but this is like more epic fuzz tones. And also because you can, this has like feedback and things built into it. So it's a really interesting kit. If you're looking for a delay pedal kit, I would probably say, yeah, go with a faux. There isn't that much more to say about it, except maybe I should tell you, this is also the one where this potentiometer here has a different value. Some of you have asked me about the value changing things, and this one has a 1K, because when I measured what was in there, I thought it was supposed to have a 1K. But then I looked up the actual circuit and the way it's made, and what the standard is supposed to be, and it's supposed to be a 10K. And I didn't have a 10K when I made this, so I used 100K. So the other ones have 10Ks, except for the first one, which is a 1K, and this one right here, which has 100K. So if you're wondering if the sound any different or what they do to the pedals, I would say that venturing away from a 10K isn't really worth doing, except for maybe putting in something below 10K to change how much you get out of it. Because if you feel like pulling it all the way to 10K isn't worth it, then yeah, you could change it for something else. And I know there's some written inside of here, and I know people want to know, but it's just old nothing text, gibberish, from when this enclosure was used to hold house electricianist things. Because these sized boxes are not for pedals, they are for mounting circuits, not circuits, but electricity things for your house, basically, so that like you don't get shortage and things to the lights and outlets in your house. If you have any questions or anything else like that you would like to be answered, check the video where I make this, or talk to me on Instagram or in the comments below if you're, for example, interested in building this or something like that. And yeah. Okay, so here is my fifth pedal and my latest one, or at least as of recording. And this is basically the same pedal as this pedal right here. But the difference is this, your guitar goes in, goes through one board, comes out, goes through the other board, and then out. Sort of the same thing as this one, except in the middle you have a tremolo. But on this one, your guitar goes in and goes to both boards at the same time and then goes out. So if we look here on the inside, you can see that the guitar goes in here, and there are two cables that goes to the in, and then two cables that come out and goes to the jack. And it's basically just parallel. And the idea was here, basically you have two different volumes, one for each board, and you can move them around and you can change that. Now, that in itself wasn't enough for me. I wanted to experiment even further. And maybe I need to make a video where I have no clipping on this, but this was a continuation of the clipping experiment. I wanted to see what happens if I have two boards and I have different clipping at the end. Some of you might have seen my weird diode clipping video. And it was basically just because I had this pedal. And the idea was to put the clipping on this, the original idea. And that was to tame the pedal and make like the most useful pedal. I just don't really feel like this one needs to have clipping diodes on it. I might be wrong because I haven't really tested it, but I'm kind of happy with this pedal the way it is. And I feel like it's the most useful one, and you can tame the distortion without the clipping. The idea of adding the diodes to clip was to create something that wasn't as aggressive and crazy as the LM chips are going to be, by just basically taming them with diodes that would cut the signal and, you know, squeeze them together and make them more manageable. And so here the idea was that I would have the red LEDs, the big red and the small red, because that seemed to be your guys' favorite from what I've read in the comments, on one of these. And I could manage the volume and control it and just blend that together with the bat, which I thought would be an interesting mix, because you would have shoddy diodes and you would have LEDs, and you would be able to like find a mix. And I haven't had this pedal long enough because I made it just a couple of days ago, or at least from recording this, so I don't know enough or have thought about it enough yet to say anything. But I'm a little bit disappointed because the clipping that happens here is not as interesting as I wanted it to be. It still sounds really nice, and it's still an interesting pedal in its own right, I suppose, but right now I have other diodes to clip in there because I'm experimenting, trying to find something new and interesting so that I can continue working on this and make more videos. And I've been switching them out and trying to find something to pair with the bats that would be a little bit more interesting. But here it is. And I also know that some of you have asked for two switches. and basically I would have one for each knob. But I don't know if that's like if that's something you want to see because you want to know how to wire it up. That I could definitely show that because it's very simple. But if you think that's gonna change the sound or anything, it won't do anything to that. It will most likely just be a convenient thing, because then you could set up the sound you want when it's just one board, and you could set up the sound you want when you want two boards, and you would just press one of these to change it. And it could be maybe used for, I don't know, let's say you have a song and you want it to boost it for your solo or something like that. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think I'm really there yet. I also know I have a hole here, but that's for another experiment, so you're gonna have to wait and see. It's still too much of a work in progress. I was hoping when I made the video that it would be more interesting sound-wise in the beginning, but then afterwards I just feel like, no, I have to do something about the red that will work better together with the bat. So yeah, that's the fifth pedal. So here are all the pedals that I've made, and I think they are a lot of fun. This one, it still needs knobs, but I don't know what knobs to put on it. Anyway, I hope this video has inspired you, and that you will see that there is more you can do to this tiny little chip than just put it in a box and make a simple little fuss. And there is probably even more things you can do, because we haven't even gotten into like changing parts on the actual board or anything like that, or using different kinds of boards, because there are other LM boards that you could buy than just, you know, you don't have to buy these. I just, you know, I bought the 10-pack, and so I have to make, you know, experiments with all 10 of them. And yeah, 3 of the pedals have 2 in them, and 2 of them have only 1. So there is still a lot of weird and crazy things we can do with the remaining ones, wherever they are. I don't know. I've replaced them. I've misplaced them, I mean. But anyway, I hope this video was inspiring, that it was fun to just get a little overview now that I've made 5 of these pedals, and that you will, yeah, have fun in something. And if you want to talk to me about the pedals, if you have any questions, talk to me in the comments below. Or you can watch the videos, and if anything was confusing still, you can contact me on Instagram, and we can have a long and tedious discussion about life, death, love and law, and politics. I'm joking. But seriously, if you're trying to build one of these pedals and you have questions, don't hesitate to talk to me. And yeah, until next time, stay awesome and cool, and go and build yourself one of these pedals, or something similar, something that was inspired by one of these pedals. Let yourself be creative and crazy and weird. The craziest people I've met have always been the most fun people. So don't hesitate to do something crazy and weird, and build yourself one of these giant thing. You could probably fit all 5 in one of these boxes. So I don't know, maybe do that. Maybe build your own DIY multi-effects pedal with all of these in one giant crazy box. They almost ruined my lights. See you in the next video. Bye bye for now.